information about the grocery giveaway.
Well, the organizer of the event says people will hear the event is in Liberty and think, what kind of need could people have in the suburbs? Everything's fine in Liberty. But he says people everywhere are hurting, and he says it's up to people in the community to help their neighbors. Doug Perry is at Harvesters picking up some of the donated items for Saturday's giveaway. His group, called Liberty Disaster Relief, has 2 semi-trailers with 20,000 pounds of produce, meat, and other food that he's giving away for free.
We've got 96 cases of spaghetti sauce. We've got 130 cases of pepperoni. So just a variety of stuff.
It started as a calling from God to help his neighbors. But Doug says his little food pantry in Liberty is now seeing a lot of people asking for help for the first time.
People think, well, there's no homeless people in Liberty and everybody's okay and there's nice homes and stuff like that. But you don't have to go very far to see neighborhoods where the people are on Section 8 and disability and having a really hard time coming up with the groceries and stuff.
Otherwise, we'd be probably out there underneath a bridge somewhere. And I'd feel ready for them.
Sharon Brown's husband lost his job. They lost their house. Now she volunteers with Doug's group as it helps them get back on their feet, because Doug offered her more than a roof and a meal.
Because at times you think that nobody cares, and then I turn around and there's somebody that cares.
A part of my motivation is a biblical motivation, is a spiritual motivation, and I take a responsibility to care for the people in your own town.
And his offer expands beyond Liberty. He says if you're in need, he wants to help.
You know, if you're hungry, we'll feed you.
Now, the big giveaway event is tomorrow morning from 10 a.m. until they run out. It's at Ruth Moore Park in downtown Liberty. They're also always looking for donations or volunteers. Go to fox4kc.com, click on Seen on TV to find out how you can help. Tess Koppelman, Fox 4 News.
Opens its arms to the growing homeless population in the Northland. The group is holding a food and clothing drive this morning in downtown Liberty. NBC Action News reporter Sloan Heller joins us live from the newsroom with this story. Sloan?
Good morning, Mike. Well, the homeless population might not be as visible in Liberty as it is, say, in downtown Kansas City, but relief workers say there are about 1,000 people living in their cars, storage lockers, or sleeping on front sofas. That's throughout Clay County. So at 10 o'clock this morning, the Liberty Disaster Relief Organization will give away 20,000 pounds of food, plus clothing and toys. It's all taking place at the Ruth Moore Park. That's near the intersection of North Grover and West Mississippi in downtown Liberty. And the lead organizer of today's event has been helping his community since Hurricane Katrina hit. He says the disaster was a reminder of our own disaster.
If your gas is out, if your car's broke down, if you don't have food on the table, you're having a Liberty disaster. And it might not look like Katrina on a global scale, but to you, it's a crisis right now, and we need to help.
And most of the food today was donated by Harvesters, but of course, if you want to donate more or volunteer, you're welcome. The hope is to hold the community care event every month. We're live in the newsroom this morning. Sloan Heller, NBC Action News.
Sloan, thanks.
What's your name?
Johnny. I'm Johnny Guyton.
Johnny, you live here in Liberty?
I live in Kansas City, Missouri.
How do you feel how Doug's doing this in the Church of Liberty?
I think it's a big Jesus move. That's what Jesus used to do when he came out, feed the masses. I think if more churches did this, we'd be a whole lot better off. People treat each other like brothers and sisters instead of competition and trying to take from them.
Well, God bless you, and have a beautiful day, and enjoy yourselves.
Thank you.
All right, we're here at Liberty Disaster Relief Outreach, one of their food pantries. Little panoramic view here of the pantry. It's a lot bigger than it looks. Lots of groceries down there. And this is after they've done their outreach for the day, their pantry here. Lots of things. Hey, there's Doug Perry. How are you today, Doug?
Hey, Baron, I'm doing great.
Was it a good day?
It was. We fed about 200 people today out of this little pantry here. Had a good day.
And just tell the folks out there, what's a normal week like here at this particular outreach?
At this particular pantry, we have rent some space in an old school. We have space where we sort clothes and organize other donations. We have a room upstairs where people can come get whatever clothing they need. And we run the pantry out of here. We also have produce in the next room over where they can go through and pick however much produce they need.
So the people pretty much come in and it's whatever they need. You don't have like set amounts of food that each person's allowed to get?
Well, the pantry's open 3 days a week, so we try to give them about 2 to 3 days worth of food, depending on the number of people that are signed in. We don't let them just take, as much as they want. Some things are in limited supply, like peanut butter and flour, crackers, spaghetti, other things like that. The produce we get from local grocery stores, where it's maybe the banana has 2 more spots on it than they think their customers will buy, but instead of going in the dumpster, they donate it to us, and then we need to get it out as quickly as possible. So we basically let them take as much produce as they want, as much bread as they want, and then we pack them a box of the other kind of staples, whether it's frozen meat, deli food we get, milk, eggs, other products like that. We try to give them 2 to 3 day supply based on the number of people that sign in.
And is it just homeless people that come here, Doug?
No, I don't think, probably 3 to 5% of the people that we service through this pantry are homeless. I don't think we see very many of those. Just simply the reality that somebody that's really truly homeless can't walk out of here with 2 boxes that weigh 80 pounds of food for the week.
Right.
They don't have any refrigeration, they don't have anywhere to keep it, and so most of the people that are truly homeless are more likely living on their cousin's sofa or sleeping in their car, or are downtown in Kansas City where they can go to a shelter every day or a soup kitchen or something and get a meal for the day. So when we do have folks that are truly homeless, and by that I mean their backpack is pretty much all that they have on them, we're not going to load them up with eggplant and bananas and a whole lot of other things that are going to go bad or have to be prepared special. They're mostly going to get canned goods, bread, peanut butter, and other things like that. So most of the folks here are just simply folks that aren't making ends meet. They maybe are out of work, got laid off, grandmother that took in the grandkids because the son's in jail or something like that, and they're just not making ends meet. And so we're supplementing their food stamps or whatever else they may be getting, just to make sure that they stay fed.
So just because there might be some people out there who are watching My Brother's Keeper that don't really know how this works, we're hungry, we don't have money for groceries, we're not really eligible for any kind of government assistance because, as you and I both know, you might have a really nice house and a really nice car and clothes because you were working one moment, but you were living week to week. Right. And then you lose the job, or terrible health falls upon you, or you get sued and you start falling behind. What do? Do you just show up here, Doug? I mean, what do you need to bring with you?
Oh, people call me all the time and say, what do we need to bring? What do you need? Proof of income, proof of residency, whatever. And I tell them, well, it would help if you looked hungry. But but even if you don't look hungry, we're going to feed you anyway, because when Jesus broke the loaves and the fishes and fed the 5,000, they didn't ask for a driver's license or social security number. They didn't check their income. They looked hungry. Some of them might have brought their lunch anyway, but that's okay. We're going to feed them. So in our situation here, if it looks like somebody is abusing the system or trying to take advantage, we might talk to them, or we'll just pray and ask God to take care of it, and then we don't see them anymore.
Right.
And I don't know. Maybe they choked on the last hot dog we gave them, but God seems to take care of it, because it's not my job to protect God's food. That's God's job.
Right.
So if He puts it in my hand, then we're going to give it away as fast as we can, because God's economy says the quicker I give it without thought of receiving, the faster more of it's going to come, and I can do it again.
And just from other times I've interviewed you and things like that, other clips, I can tell you that that's working pretty good for you, right? The whole give it away as quick as you get it?
So far, yeah. Right now, we're housing about 50 people. We're feeding about 3,000 a month. Basically no budget. We just trust the Lord for everything. It takes about $10,000 a month to do what we do right now. Driving people around, helping them get to their job, you know, toilet paper, tampons, other stuff that we don't get from the food pantries or from the grocery stores, from the food bank.
Which brings me to my next question. Is there anything, if somebody out there is watching this video right now, and I know that that could change next week or tomorrow, I've seen around here, within the hour I've seen it change, what would you say that you need, or in need of right now? Obviously, finances help.
Sure.
But if someone was out there and, you know, they didn't have, you know, a bunch of money to bequeath on you, but they go to the local bulk supply warehouse and maybe they're thinking about Liberty Disaster Relief. I mean, is it toilet paper? Could you use a pallet of toilet paper?
Sure. Yeah, basically you need to consider that the things in highest demand are the things that people can't get on food stamps. And in Missouri, it varies state by state. California is more liberal, I've heard. But in Missouri, it has to be edible, non-prepared food. So you can't go to McDonald's on food stamps. You can't go to Pizza Hut. You can buy a pizza that you take home and bake yourself, like Papa Murphy's and places like that. At the grocery store, you can buy a ready-to-cook pizza. But you can't buy a hot dog that's already cooked at a convenience store or something like that. So basically, groceries they can get. But that leaves out some really important things like feminine hygiene, toilet paper, toothpaste, toothbrushes, deodorant, shampoo, things like that. So we try to contact the hotels. You know, at the end of the night, they put 4 or 5 little things by the sink at the hotel. And whether you open them or not, most of them just wipe them all off, throw them away, and put new ones the next day. And some of those were never opened or never used, and so we're trying to recycle that too. Anything that might go in the trash. You know, we pick up about 3,000 pounds a day, 6 days a week, of food that would be in a landfill otherwise. And it's good. There's nothing wrong with a pack of hot dogs that's on its sell-by date. That's not that it's going to kill you by date. You know, that's the sell-by date. It goes bad when God says it's bad, not when the little printing on the bag says it's bad. So there's a lot of stuff that we've conditioned Americans not to eat that is still perfectly good. You know, a bag of flour is going to last a really long time. A jar of peanut butter, a package of Twinkies, even baked goods like these donut holes. These are from today. They have a sell-by date today from the grocery store. These are going to be good for a week.
So technically, those are like the day-old donuts you'd buy at the bakery.
Sure, you're right. And they just give them away because they're on their date, but they're going to be good for a week. Even so, they're going to be out of here in about a day or two. And you can see we got all kinds of stuff. Apple pies, the crust fell off a little bit, but may not even be on its date. Brownies, all this back here is bread, loaf bread, hot dogs, French bread. In the refrigerators, I've got sushi, vegetables.
Sushi.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're actually California rolls, avocado with vegetables, spicy shrimp, and these are all dated today or yesterday, but they have plenty of shelf life. The date on them is the day they want you to buy it, but you can take it home and put it in your fridge for a while after that. And of course, stuff that can be frozen. Here we've got Swanson's meals that were discontinued, and for whatever reason, we got lots and lots of these.
Now, these were plumb full at the beginning of today.
This morning, this was full this morning, for example. Most food pantries, you're going to get corn, green beans, and day-old bread. We are able to harvest a lot more things and rotate them a lot faster, so we can handle more of this kind of stuff that's perishable and get it out to where it's got to go faster. And this is just one little piece of all the things we do, in addition to the group homes and being a referral network to help people find help. Maybe it's not something we do. We don't have the resources to help with utilities or rent assistance, but what we do have, we try to give away without worrying about receiving, and then just trusting for the Lord to give us whatever
whatever we need to continue to keep doing this.
If you could speak to every person out there right now, personally, one-on-one, who's saying, well, I really want to help, but I have a job, and my life is so busy, and how can I help? Or maybe somebody out there saying, hey, I'm in charge of the facilities at my church, or I'm a deacon or an elder, and I really want to do something like this where we live. What advice would you give them?
Well, if I had a chance to talk to them all one-on-one, first thing I'd probably give them a hug and encourage their heart to want to do something. And I sat in the pews at a mega church growing up, and when I was older and owned my own business, was sitting on committees, I realized we're spending 1% on the poor. That can't be okay. In Matthew 25, the sheep and the goats are divided based on, I was hungry and you fed me, I was naked and you clothed me, I was in prison and you visited me. So that's kind of important. And I decided that I couldn't just stand before Jesus someday and say, but Lord, I paid the pastor to do that, because it's not getting done. So I needed to go do it myself. So we opened up a room in my furniture store where we had donated garage sale leftovers and just let people come take whatever they wanted. And people would come in and say, well, that's really cool. Can I bring stuff? I'm like, okay, sure. And it got out of control. And it got bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was just one guy trying to make a difference. Now, 5 years later, we've touched thousands of people locally. We feed about 3,000 a month. Some of them the same repeat people that are trying to get on their feet. Some of them, we had one family that her husband dropped dead of a heart attack at 38 years old. She lived in a $250,000 house in a really nice neighborhood, but the death certificate got hung up for 4 months. So the insurance wouldn't pay out. They were living month to month, and he was the sole breadwinner. So she's worried now about, how am I going to pay the mortgage? How am I going to keep the electric on? And the last thing we want is for them to go hungry. So we were able to help with food at a little short-term window at a time when they really needed it, until everything could get handled and she could get the insurance and they could get on their feet. But on paper, she doesn't qualify for food stamps. If they look at last year's tax records or even last month's paperwork, their agencies will turn them down all over the place. And because we try to not listen to the government, but to listen to God, if God says they need help, then we're going to help them the best way we can. So as far as advice to that person, I would say, don't just assume that it's getting done. Go find the people that are doing it already, and see if you feel like their needs are being met, that they have the resources they need to go do to meet the demand that's out there. And if you don't want to get your hands dirty, if you don't want to go to the homeless camps and take in food down by the river and whatever, that's fine. Then give the money to somebody that is willing to go do that and has sold themselves out for that. Somebody that's not getting a bigger boat and a jet plane to minister to the needy, but somebody that's really selling themselves, that has really given all that they have to meet the needs around them.
Okay. Doug, we really appreciate you spending time with us today. We'll be back, because I believe that you are being my brother's keeper. And man, I mean, there's been here 10 days this time, and there's 30 days worth of footage we can get here of people being the hands and feet of Jesus. So hey, we appreciate your time. Real quick, if you would, give contact information for you personally.
Sure.
Well, not you personally, of course. I meant
That's all right.
For your ministry. If someone right now, the Lord's speaking to them, to tell them to help you out, where would they go? How would they, at the minimum, give you money to continue what you're doing?
If they like what we're doing and they want to participate in it, they can learn more at the website, which is libertydisasterrelief.com. They can email to help@libertydisasterrelief.com. If they want to call the phone number, it's 816-255-5766. And that's not an operator on a switchboard. That's my cell phone in my pocket. So you're pretty much going to get me all the time, because that's how small we are, just trying to meet the local needs and handle things here in Kansas City. So from the website there, you'll be able to find out more about us and what we do and how to help. If you want to donate, you can PayPal to help@libertydisasterrelief.com.
Okay. And we, of course, at My Brother's Keeper will put a link up to your websites, and if someone should want to do something for you and all they can remember is mybk.tv, we'll see to it that those things get to you, because we know that you're being good stewards over it. Doug, thanks for having us out. God bless you for what you do, and understand that we recognize you as being my brother's keeper.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks.
Hi, my name is Doug Perry. I run Liberty Disaster Relief in Liberty, Missouri. 5 years ago, when I realized that I wasn't being my brother's keeper, I committed everything in my life to God. Since then, I've written 7 books, sent emails out all over the country, all over the world. We've got websites and over 540 YouTube videos getting 2 million hits. We started a food pantry. Now we're feeding 3,000 people a month. We've got group homes housing 54 people. We're delivering food to people's homes and delivering bread to churches on Sunday morning so they can get it to the people that need it. I'm being my brother's keeper. Are you?